I just really realized that I'm over here like thinking that I'm the only human being going through this struggle with trying to understand the modern dating scene of the 21st century, if not just the world in general. I feel like there's like a plague going on. There's like a pandemic of people who are becoming, I think like people are becoming artificial and not like genuine, and it's like actually kind of terrifying. It like gives me nightmares and like haunts me because I'm like, what happened to just existing and allowing nature to run its course and allowing evolution to take place within your life and guiding you towards the right people? What happened? It's actually kind of scary because like I think it's this problem of like people taking the internet as like a dating site. Like, first of all, that doesn't even make sense. Like, imagine if like, bro, talk about, okay, not to even be religious. I'm not religious, but I am faithful. But you know, Adam and Eve eating the apple, whatever, fucking everything up. I feel like that is a bit too correlative to the iPhone and social media. Bro, y'all niggas be eating the apple and don't know how to act no more. Like, I'm just very confuzzled. I'm very confuzzled. I'm very perplexed. I'm very, very, very. I'm very, very, very disappointed within humanity right now because I didn't see in a video of this dude. He, was married for like 25 years, and he's damn near 50, and he's talking about he don't even know what the fuck's going on. I'm like, all right then. A grown man with legitimate life experience who genuinely went through a long-term relationship, even to this day, is looking at the world and is like, am I in the right place? Cause this don't add up. It's not adding up. It's not adding up. You mean to tell me there are how many people around me and I still haven't met that genuine human being who's right for me? Vice versa? That don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I blamed myself for such a long time. I was like, oh, I have to change this, I have to change that, and like, I did change a lot of things about myself, and I did really come into like fruition and into like self-acceptance and all these things, but like, I'm still over here like, damn, like, I'm really just stay on my grind because y'all don't be acting right, bro. I peep movements that honestly are deeply saddening. Like, it's deeply, deeply, deeply saddening that I will meet certain people in certain scenarios and be like, chemistry. And then I don't play in the chemistry anymore because anybody can have chemistry with anybody. But then I'll be like, okay, but who are you really? And I'm over here like, y'all are a bit psychotic. Y'all are a little bit you know what I'm saying? And not in the way of like just who you are. I'm talking about your actions. The actions that y'all be taking, I just be like, I really just watch and I'm just like, you did this, this, and that, and you're crying because of for what? Yeah, you literally did that to yourself, bro. You literally did that to yourself. And I just feel like there is so much information. There's so much information. There's so much information on how to be healthy, within a relationship with yourself and with other people adjacent to you, and still y'all just be on tomfoolery. And I'm like, do you enjoy this? I'm like, I think y'all are a bit psychopathic. I think it's turning y'all a bit psychopathic. Something is just disappearing in your mind. You're just moving anyhow. Like you don't even know what's going on. I'm so perplexed. I'm so taken aback. I'm so mummified, mortified, stupefied. Like I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm just over here like all I can do is stay on my grind, because no matter what situation I'm in, even if it don't pan out, I've been on my grind and I can get out of that situation and be like, all right, time to lock in, because I wasn't wasting my time doing whatever. And it's kind of sad because I end up leaving a lot of situations with people, and it's this weird thing where like I'm just always evolving, I'm just always changing, I'm always becoming, I'm always, you know what I mean? I don't like being stagnated, and I don't like being around other people who are stagnated. It doesn't make me feel good. I can see the future in things, man. I have such a big foresight. I have such a big foresight, bro. My cranium, bro. This shit be on the dot, on the clock, 24/7. It don't take no breaks. I look at something and I see like infinite possibilities for that thing throughout time, and I'm just like, do you guys not do this? What is going on? And for so long I was like, is it social media? Is this what it is? And I took liberty to see how my brain would react to being on social media versus being on social media. And I will say there is a literal component to not being immersed within your reality 100% that prohibits you from seeing yourself continuing within your reality. And I'm just like, y'all need, I'm like, even if you figure out that it is social media that's making your dating life terrible, and it's all these dating apps which are so, like, to say that it's so unnatural is not even, it doesn't even cut it. It's like people try to live within ideals, and the thing about ideals is that they're short. They're a sellout dream. They don't have any potential. They're just concepts. You know what I mean? In order for a concept to be realized, it has to actually have the base work in order to grow. And people like aren't fully realized as themselves. And I think that creates this sort of really, really dangerous pool. And it's like I watch so many like crime documentaries and different things, and a lot of these people exhibit signs. I mean, you take this before, you know, the computer was even a mainstream thing. And a lot of these people were hyper obsessive, compulsive. They didn't have very good moral compasses. They had gone through severe trauma. They didn't have much socialization, and it caused them to target certain groups of people who exhibited very specific traits as a human, and it would cause this spree, and they could get away with it every time. And it's not necessarily the psychology of a killer, but it's the psychology of somebody who isn't sane, who isn't like progressing within themselves, and so they need to take it out on the world. And I'm not saying that people are killers out here. Might I add, some people are. But I'm just saying that there is a certain mental composition to a person like this, in which I think social media is creating in people. And this is just the beginning of something that is beyond dangerous. It's beyond danger. I cannot express like the fear that I experience towards this subject, because it is absolutely mind-boggling and terrifying, and I like do not see an end to it. And the only way that anything can happen is if people are brought to their own awareness of it existing within their own lives. And so I say this to say that there's almost like two different worlds happening right now that I've witnessed. And there's this world of online connections where people claim to know each other, they hang out, they do whatever, yada yada yada, but behind closed doors there is no relationship, right? So there's a term called a parasocial relationship, and this used to only exist for people who had a mass following online, and they were average Jills and Joes who went to work and came back and got on their 6 p.m. Laptop slump and watched that and felt as though they were being kept company by somebody. Like, that was somewhat conceivable, to say the least. That was somewhat conceivable. But now we're in a position where people are so quick to jump at that opportunity and create this internet persona, to where we're almost only connecting on internet personas instead of who we actually are. And you talk about an epidemic of loneliness. I think this was dramatically increased by the pandemic, if not social isolation, to where there's this domino effect of all these different types of people now, who some genuinely do not go outside. There are some people who were inside and remained inside. I am not kidding. And you can physically see the adaptation that their bodies have taken to this within, 4 years? 4 years! And it's visible. It is perceivable to see that that person is not a person. And I'm not saying nobody is still a human being. Nobody is beyond salvation. But there's something to a lack of social awareness, of social integrity, of social dynamics in human nature at the moment that is terrible. It's terrible. It's a parent's worst fucking nightmare. I mean, like, it's terrible, guys. It's atrocious. And I get so passionate about this because I'm like, people don't understand that this is a threat to humanity. It's a literal threat to humanity. People aren't making rational decisions for themselves. They're simply allowing their entire existence to be based upon an algorithm that who the fuck knows is controlling and manipulating and adapting. And they're just consuming content and consuming this and filling their mind up. And let me tell you one thing. Dopamine is not a bad thing. Dopamine is a very crucial and essential thing to your existence, and you need that shit. The thing is that for every receptor that exists within your mind, anything you give it, it will attach to. Okay? This is why addictions can happen for anything. Anything. Literally anything. And with dopamine and the internet and social media, now that algorithms have been introduced into every single platform, which is why I use web browsers now, because I hate that shit. It's almost like giving crack to a baby. You're giving crack to your baby. Okay? You have this thing in your brain called myelin. Okay? Myelin it's this gooey tar substance that attaches to your receptors, and it basically creates the ability for you to retain information and for you to recall. Okay? And things that destroy myelin are things like alcohol, things like crack, cocaine, whatever, nicotine. It kind of takes away at the matter of the myelin. And so there need to be more studies, and there needs to be more of a push on phone screens and these LED fucking tidbits and whatever the fuck can exist within these things, because I don't think this is just as simple as a screen. I don't think this is just as simple as a screen. I think whatever technology is being used to create these things, there is something happening beyond that 4D wall. There is something happening beyond that. If you want to call it mind control, brainwashing, I don't care. All I know is that I look at fucking kids who use tablets versus kids who don't. And there is a significant difference between his eyes, their eyes, her eyes, whatever. There is a significant difference between their reactions to things, their awareness, and their attunement to life. And if this is hitting our children before they even get a fucking chance to realize who they are, to even come back to that shit, this is a fucking social crisis. And I'm actually very, very sick and tired of pretending like it's not serious, because it is. If motherfuckers can wake up and choose to protest against war, against crime, against genocide, against everything that we're protesting against, we need to protest against this. Because humanity is literally at risk. And I cannot stress this enough. Humanity is literally at risk. I don't care if you think I'm being over dramatic, or if you think I'm telling a tale. No. Give this shit 15 more fucking years. We're going to be so far gone. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding, and I wish I fucking was.